As a child growing up, I always holidayed here at Kuratau. It was always my dream to one day build a holiday home here of my own. And through the years, as a high-profile home designer, it remained my dream until we saw the section, and then we never really stopped. But with only 100 days to complete it, we're starting. Even for me, with years of experience, nothing ran smoothly. The blockwork is too wide to fit the fireplace. And with plenty of dramas...
We're out of cladding.
Bloody hell. Just one more thing. But the pain was worth it. Well, we're done, and it's fantastic. Yeah, I'd definitely do this again. I love it. And now I'm going to help my friends Alex and Rachel attempt a massive renovation on a grand scale by gutting their 85-year-old home and adding a second story.
I'd like it to stay pretty, obviously colonial.
We're going to half destroy this house and take it back to its roots.
That's complete open plan living.
With a tight budget and only 100 days to build, there is no room for error.
Council are telling us we don't have any resource consent, which means there's not going to be any concrete pour because it's like 3:30 on the Friday, and that's all meant to happen on Monday.
Welcome to the 100-day renovation.
Hey, 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 I'm going up straight to the top, walking out with my head up high. Hey, 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 moving on to a brand new place, and now it's here in the blink of an eye. Hey, 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 you can't stop me now, moving fast, going everywhere I wanted to be. Hey, 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 and now I'm here today with made for me. Yeah, I was born to be free.
16 years ago, Alex Bringen and Rachel Hart made New Zealand their home, first settling in Devonport, Auckland. 8 years ago, they moved with their 2 children, Max and Macy, to the Hibiscus Coast.
It's a really quaint 1930s cottage, and over the years it's been added to, and there's been various renovations to make it what it is today. And the most recent one was about 20 years ago. That's when I think a lot of the character was kind of ripped out of the house. So what we want to do is reinstate that missing character.
Yes, exactly. Want to keep the colonial feel that it had originally.
Yeah.
Sort of make it sympathetic to what it once was, and but also bring it up to date.
Alex and Rachel wanted to expand their house by adding a story, but Rachel's constant health problems put their plans on hold until now.
I've had a lot of serious health issues. I've had major spine surgeries. I haven't always been able to walk too well the last few years. I've had emergency bowel surgeries that have saved my life, and it's just not something we've been able to consider. So I kind of think, why not? With everything that happens in life, let's just do it. Let's just bite the bullet and do it and get the family home that we want.
But it wasn't all plain sailing, and after drawing up their plans, they discovered that the land under the house might not even support a second story, and that they would need a geotech report and resource consent.
The results from the geotech engineer found that what is underneath the house is pretty compact, and it's been there a very long time, so it means we'll have to put some wider footings in to hold up the structure of the new house. But the really good news is that he says we should get the resource consent approved pretty easily.
After a 3-month delay, the first day of the renovation has arrived, but they were missing one important person. Alex is away.
Yeah, I can't quite believe it.
What are the odds?
I don't know. We had this sort of day one date scheduled for a while now, and then this last-minute work trip's come up, other side of the world that he had to go to.
Yeah.
I know he's gutted not to be here, but as I've said to him, you know, we've got a long way to go yet, so he'll be here for the vast majority of it.
A week on, and Alex is back in the country and catching up on sleep and the renovation.
I'm feeling okay. It was a 36-hour journey, so I'm pretty knackered. And really what I'm doing today is playing catch-up on everything that's been happening, trying to get my head around where we're at. When Kelsey arrived this morning, I asked him how it was going. He said when he first looked at it, his gut reaction was, I don't think this is going to work. But luckily, you dig down about that far and you hit sand. So the irony is, even though we had to do all this work because we're right by the beach, the fact that we're right by the beach means that digging those holes is actually doable, otherwise it wouldn't be happening.
Alex and Rachel's plans are quite ambitious, But it seems having sand as a base has been an advantage to constructing the footings for the second floor. To add the second story, Kelsey will concrete the footings, remove the interior walls to add steel beams which will connect the footings to the second story and provide support. Upstairs, they will build their master bedroom, large walk-in wardrobe, ensuite bathroom and an office for Rachel that will look out onto the street. And the front of the first floor will have major renovations as well. The stairwell will be created by removing storage space from the hallway and Max's current bedroom, as well as narrowing the main bedroom and ensuite. The main bathroom will be renovated as well, replacing the rotten floorboards and worn fixtures. Macy will move into what was Alex and Rachel's room at the front of the house, while Max will move into her old room, with his current room becoming the guest bedroom. Storage will then be put back under the stairs. The back part of the house, including the kitchen, living room and family room, will be untouched except for minor alterations for the steel beams. With such a large renovation, it's important that any design elements are ordered well ahead of time. So Rachel and I need to be on the same page when it comes to the overall look. So let's start with outside.
Yeah.
What did you picture for the style of the house? What were you after?
Well, it's a pretty cottage at the moment. So when it's built back up, I'd like it to stay pretty. Obviously, colonial style is that kind of the weatherboard style.
Any thoughts colour-wise to what you'd like?
I mean, I like white, I like grey, and that's kind of crisp.
So
tones.
White window frames, white posts, that
Yes.
sort of thing,
Yes.
and a softer grey on the outside. Now, inside, anything specific? Let's start with Max and Macy's rooms. What have you talked to them about what they want?
Macy's, you know, she's girly. She'd like quite a bright white, sort of pale colours or lilac, but
the pastels.
quite clean.
She's
and
a girl,
white
clean and
pretty.
white
Yeah.
and pretty. Nice. What about Max?
Max, on the other hand, essentially his life is football.
Yes.
Plays football, sports football, and Barcelona is his team.
Sure.
So we would really love to give him a Barcelona-themed bedroom. This is taking it to the extreme.
Right.
But for Max's bedroom,
That is extreme.
not as extreme as this.
No, but
But-
I get what you mean. I see the colours now.
Yes, maybe just one or two walls, or I'm not quite sure how we're going to.
We could stripe the wall behind the
Yeah.
head of the bed. We can do that. We could look at doing something with the fabric and the curtains, because I mean those are things that can be changed. Your master bedroom.
Oh, if we get to go upstairs
Yep.
and have it as a peaceful, secluded,
Nice and restful feeling.
private. Yes.
Yep. Your office is going to be up there. Do you want that nice and restful and peaceful to
Yes.
tie through
yeah,
with the
quite
master?
like the white kind of peaceful, so it kind of looks organised, even if I'm not organised.
Yep.
But now this might be a bit too white, maybe, and not realistic. But that crisp white office.
That's it. I agree.
is
I like it a
something
lot.
that
Things like the entrance hallway and bits and pieces, I think we'll just continue that neutral through. Now,
Yes.
I have to say, I really do like your front lounge. Great colour. I love the Chesterfield couch.
Great.
It works.
Lovely.
The only thing we may have to do, maybe, is change the colour of it.
If we need to, if it could stay a similar.
Yeah, it'll stay deep. We just
Great.
might shift the tone fractionally.
That's
So
okay.
it might stay in the same vein, but be a bit more greyer
Okay.
rather than,
Sure.
than browner. I'll go away, start working some stuff out, probably take a couple of weeks to get
Okay.
all the bits in that I want, and then you can say yay or nay, and we'll see where we go
Oh,
from
so
there.
do you bring me?
I'm going to bring you the samples.
It's like a dream come true. And don't go crazy, because we're on a budget. We have, you know.
Budget? What's a
no.
budget range?
This is
No,
our
no,
house this time.
I
You've done
understand.
yours. Yeah.
That's why I'm going crazy.
No.
No, totally got it. So it'll be fine. It's great that Rachel and I are on the same page. It means I can start looking at the design for her and Alex. At the house, there's more surprises. This time, it's the mains power.
Just looking at this point of entry box up here might need upgrading. Like a kid could basically jump on something square here, like a table, and grab the cable. The box is definitely old, it's 40 years old, so that needs to be upgraded.
The existing power line that comes off the street to the house, it's probably illegal, so that's got to move. The thing is, really, it's going to be another sort of $3,500, maybe $5,000 to do that, which we kind of have to do. We certainly weren't planning on doing, and it does feel a little bit like I'm kind of burning money at the moment, and we haven't even started properly building.
Food blogger Rachel Hart and company director Alex Bringen are turning their 1930s three-bedroom cottage into a two-storey, five-bedroom home in just 100 days. But the electrician Dean has just discovered that their mains cable has serious problems.
The bigger issue is your mains coming in there. Like, it's not an easy job because you've got to bring a cable. You either trench it right around the house and go straight out, or you go underneath your house and go straight out.
Is that the sort of logical solution? It's not going to be too expensive?
Everything's going to come at a cost.
When you hear that there's major electrical work to be done and that the electrician really can't tell you the price, that's really concerning, and not looking forward to actually finding out how much this is going to cost us.
At least the preparation for the concrete footings is going well, with the structural engineer back to make sure they'll pass council inspection.
Yes, I'm not going to be able to fit.
But he'll have to if they want to keep the build on track.
It's good to see that the subfloor's held up. It's very tidy. Good bones, so you see sometimes they try and keep a lot of the piles, and the piles are desiccated and about to fall over, so it's good to see that they're solid, and whoever built it previously did a good job. Yep, so apart from just widening this one out to encompass these 3 existing.
Yeah.
Good to see no other clashes, and we'll just get us send it through a photo and we'll give it a go ahead.
That's good news for Alex, who has the council inspector arriving Friday afternoon for sign-off and the concrete pour scheduled for Monday morning. As Kelsey will be moving some of the spouting while working on the second story, and there's obvious wear and tear, Alex has asked Don from Renovate Spouting to come out and have a look.
Come on in. Okay, so new spouting going on the new part of the house.
Yep.
Bit of advice from you, really, because we've got old spouting, which is ancient, and some which is maybe about 20 years old.
Sure.
Do I replace everything, or do we try and make it match?
Yeah, great opportunity to replace everything and make it all look good.
Okay, well, let's go around and I'll show you the rest of the house and we can measure
Sure
up
thing.
and fill me in on how we do it.
Good as gold.
So this is what we're replacing, which is your standard plastic, and you can see just the joins there, it leaks.
Yes.
Is it like for like that we're doing? Because I want to try and go back to the look of the house, which is a bit colonial, you know?
Okay, probably what you're best to do is to replace it with something like this, which is colour coat steel.
Metal?
Yes, we would bring the machine here and run off the gutters in continuous lengths, so there wouldn't be any joins to leak.
So is that more expensive because it's metal? Because I'm trying to, as I said, I'm trying to save some costs.
Yeah. No, it's more cost effective than PVC. The material's in a big coil, and we just run out whichever lengths you need.
What about this? What's this for?
Gutter foam. You've got lots of trees here, so there's space underneath here for the water. The leaves will blow off in the wind and keeps the gutters clean.
This is what I thought we'd do. Put everything on new, which matches. It's going to be continuous spouting, so it's going to be really smart. It's going to be watertight, so it's not going to leak like it does right now, and it's going to look the business. So that process is underway now, and Hamish is choosing the colour to make sure that that fits in with all these other colour schemes.
John will be back when we're ready to remove the spouting for painting, which gives me time to organise the colour schemes for the house. While taking on board what Rachel wants, I really want to push Rachel and Alex out of their comfort zone with my choices, starting at the tile depot. I've had a good look around and think I've come up with what will work. So I've taken her ideas and made them fit into what's available on the market here. I want to have one floor tile through the entire house. So that's the ensuite upstairs, Macy's new ensuite, and the main bathroom downstairs. For that, I've chosen this tile here, and I love it. It fits exactly with what Rachel was after. She wanted a patterned tile, but not too busy. I like the slightly muted tones of it. It works for what we're after. Now, Rachel showed me pictures of brick tiles on the walls. We are going to use a white brick tile. The difference is it's got a bevel to it. This really is a classic layout for this style of tile, and being the gloss, it's going to help with the light in the room because the main bathroom is actually sort of landlocked. There's no windows, so we want to reflect as much as possible in the space. For Macy's bathroom, she sent through pictures of a sort of pastel mint green bathroom. Rachel was wanting to use that in the main bathroom. I want to use it with Macy's bathroom, so we're going to see how that works out. That also is just going to be done in a standard brick layout. Then came the master bathroom. And at this point, Rachel really hadn't sent anything through for what she kind of thought for there. I guess she kind of sent through a general overview of the style she wanted. I want to try something different. I want to push the buttons a bit. I'm going to use a matte black, and this time we're not going to lay it in a brick pattern, we're going to stack it. So that's like this. Since the black tile is quite intense and it is going to have a lighter greyed outline around it, I didn't want to brick it effectively because it would create too much of a pattern running through it, so stacking it's going to give us the best result. Now you may say, Hamish, that's going to be really, really dark. But remember, we're going to have a white ceiling. There are 2 doors in that bathroom which are both going to be painted white. We've also got the vanity unit which is going to be white. We're going to have heated towel rails on the wall which are going to have towels on them. So all in all, the actual wall area that's going to be black is not huge. It's going to provide an amazing backdrop and frame. And the other thing to think about is when they're lying in bed, they're going to have their wardrobe doors open. You go through the walk-in wardrobe and they're going to have the door open through to the ensuite. So you're going to get something beautiful and visual to look at from the room. The other key thing to think about is when you're in at your tile depot is not just the tile you're choosing. Because as soon as the tiler arrives, he's going to ask you, how big of spaces do you want? Or he should ask you. And he's also going to ask you, what colour grout do you want? With these tiles, we're going to be using 2mm spaces, and we are using a grey. With the black tiles, it's going to picture frame the tiles a bit more. With the lighter coloured tiles, like the white and the soft greeny blue, that's basically going to disappear and blend in a bit more. When it came to the floor tiles, we're going to use anthracite. And that will frame the outsides of the floor tiles a little bit more, rather than making it blend in too much, just to give it a little bit more impact. I love the tiles I've chosen for Rachel and Alex. I can only hope they feel the same way. It's Friday afternoon, and at the house, Kelsey is waiting on the council inspector to approve the footings before he can confirm the concrete pour Monday morning. But then he receives a call.
Now, council are telling us we don't have any resource consent, which is not the case because that was signed off in January. So we know we have it, we know we have all the paperwork and the numbers, but the issue is, I guess they've lost it or something's been lost in the pipeline. The issue that comes out of that, though, is the foundations won't get signed off, which means there's not going to be any concrete pour because it's like 3:30 on the Friday, and that's all meant to happen on Monday. So, needless to say, I am not happy.
Alex Bringen and Rachel Hart are only 10 days into their 100-day renovation, but they've just discovered that the council has no record of their resource consent.
So Kelsey called me and he said, "You've got resource consent, haven't you?" And I said, "Yeah, definitely, from a couple of months ago, easily." And he said that the council are saying we don't have it and there's no record of it. It was one of those days, which is back-to-back meetings, everything was going on and everything was going wrong. It was the weekend coming up, trying to get all these things done, which essentially pays for all of this. And all of a sudden I'm being told there's this delay. And I'm not in front of my email, I've got no answers. So I said to Kelsey, call Rachel, she's all the detail and she'll sort it, which he did. And within 5 minutes it was sorted and we had the number the council needed. But by then it was 4 o'clock and it was kind of game over for the weekend. That means the inspector hasn't come to sign off the foundations before the concrete gets poured in. It's 4:30 on Friday, so that's it done for the week, really, and it ain't gonna happen now. Good news is, though, the pergola has come off the front of the house. The scaffolding is happening on Monday, so we're not kind of dead in the water. It's just an annoying delay at the end of a busy week and a day that I could have kind of done without this.
The weekend comes and goes with no work on the renovation. But come 7:30 Monday morning, Kelsey arrives on site with a new plan.
Well, we're just going to start on the internal walls. A little bit to do finishing off underneath the house with the foundation. Once we take the roof out, we'll find that a lot of the roof structure's holding up the ceiling, so we're going to need to prop up just through the centre of the lounge and stuff. Once the scaffolding's on, then we can get up there and start pulling the roof off, but we're going to really need the wrap on so that it doesn't get, if it does rain, it's all protected.
And with perfect timing,
Scaffolding guys have arrived early, which is really good, and what they're doing today is unloading the truck, doing a measure up so that they can start the install of the scaffold, which they say will take sort of 2, maybe 3 days. So it's going to be the best part of the week because we've got a public holiday right in the middle of the week as well. So that's all leading into having the wrap on in a week from today.
the scaffolders need everything removed from around the sides of the house so they can put up their supports. And that includes Alex's tractor and all of their garden furniture. Which gives me time to head to the paint store. Rachel has been pretty clear on her brief, so I think we already have the right colours. But Nico will definitely give me some expert advice. Interior and exterior colours, I think we should go through that. I'm keen to have a look at what you guys do in the store to help people out. So this is where I'm at so far. Exterior colour scheme.
What colours do you have?
Scarpa Flow. Front door frame, and also it's got fixed upstairs and some swinging shutters downstairs. Exterior ones are going to be in Scarpa Flow. Weatherboard, quarter stack.
Nice. And
good old double alabaster for our window frames.
Yeah, cool.
It's a classic, but it works with everything. And of course, because it's on the exterior of the window frames, I like to tie it through to the interior of the window frames because it's timber joinery, and that'll work well with our interior colours as well. Have you got any tools to sort of show me how it could look?
Yeah, sure. So I was actually going to show that to you. We've got this perfect little, that looks see-through now.
Yep.
But we put them over say your Scarpa Flow thing. We can actually see your door right there.
Look at that.
And then if you want your quarter stick, we can see right there. So you now can see what your house will look like with your front door.
Well, this is good because a lot of people have trouble visualising how the colour's going to work on the place, and this really takes care of it.
It's a good tool to use for people to see before they do something and start the ball rolling in their painting process.
Exterior-wise, I like a glossy window frame.
Right.
More for just the crispness of it and the cleaning. And weatherboards, I personally like, you know, a sort of a semi-gloss kind of feel to it, just for cleaning. Is that okay?
You can go gloss. That's absolutely fine. The only downfall, though, is that it highlights imperfections.
Sure.
So you will need to be...
Cracking the whip.
Yeah, you need to be cracking the whip. If you've got painters coming in or you're painting it yourself, just be way mindful, because in gloss, it will highlight a lot of stuff.
Remember, paint colour changes as it dries and with each coat. So when using test pots, apply at least 2 coats before making the big decision. Interior paints, all skirtings, doors, architraves, ceilings will be alabaster.
And you're set in the alabaster?
I'm stuck in that because I like it tying in from the joinery outside to the joinery inside.
Story.
And I think it works with the style of the house because the house is older and we want to pick out those skirtings and details. Hallways, I want to use triple C fog. I want to, you know, warm it up a little bit, and you know, I want it to be different to the skirting. I want to have a point of difference. So Max's bedroom, he's a big fan of Barcelona, football fan. He wants half Pahutakara and licorice. Well, I do, because I think that's as close as I can get to the colours.
Fair enough,
So I'm going to want to compare that, obviously, easily to the shirt and stuff. So I was thinking getting some drawdowns.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, so I can order those drawdowns today for you.
Cool.
And they'll come in the next couple of days, and you can come in then and pick them up and then take them to Max and see if he likes them.
See if he likes them, and you and I can have a try of it against the shirt and see how it works out.
We'll be able to use that tool as well that we have on our table there.
See if it's working.
See if it works, yeah.
Fantastic. Cheers, buddy, for all your help. I think the colours I've selected will really give Rachel and Alex that colonial feel with a modern twist. At the house, South Pacific Scaffolding have made huge progress, but it will be at least 3 stories to accommodate the new floor, the roof and the wrap over the top. Inside the house, Kelsey is moving on to the demolition, but has hit a snag.
All this wall right through comes out, those doors further down, and then we've just got a new wall going in, which is low bearing for the upstairs. So yeah, we kind of need all this stuff out of these wardrobes.
Things into here.
Rachel leaps into action and ropes in Macy and Max to help. She is discovering that the cupboards are a treasure trove of forgotten gems.
We've got so much stuff. How did this even fit in this cupboard? What is this? I don't know what this is. Borax cleaner. We've got to find a way to store a small mountain of belongings. Right now we just have to empty it, but if you do find stuff that you don't want, we can just take it to the op shop. Oh, God. God. We have so much stuff. Might even see if my parents, who live not too far away, can store some things in their garage, because I think very quickly the house is going to be overrun with boxes, and of course we're living here the whole time. I hate packing, even to go on a holiday, like if we were going somewhere really nice that I was excited for. Absolutely hate packing, can't stand it. Normally Alex does all the packing. In fact, when we moved here, I think Alex pretty much packed up our old house because I just didn't enjoy it. I do lots of other stuff, and I'm very good at writing lists so that he doesn't forget to do stuff. But no, packing is one thing I do not enjoy at all.
While the cupboards are cleaned out, Kelsey wastes no time and moves on to the next job on his list.
We're just going to remove the old roof, so the old tiles and the new ones that go on will be held down. They just got like a little nail. So we're just going to go through today and just take as much as we can. Just not right out because there is a bit of wind forecast in the weekend. We don't want to blow it off on its own. And then it's all ready to go for next week. When the shrink wrap goes on, we can pull them all off.
Yeah, I guess I wonder exactly how prepared they are for what's about to happen. There's still a lot of stuff in the house and in the areas that are going to be worked on. They have this plan to stay in the house, or at least stay as long as they possibly can. But I think all of a sudden it really gets real, you know, dust opens up, things get messy, and, you know, walls aren't set up the way they're meant to be. So I guess time will tell. It's day 14 of the 100-day renovation on the Hibiscus Coast. And South Pacific Scaffolding are back to continue building their tower of steel for the wrap that will protect the house during the coming winter months. Inside the house, Rachel, Max and Macy have finished cleaning out the hallway cupboards and all the wardrobes. And now it's just a matter of removing the animals from under Kelsey's feet.
Today, last day of the school holidays, I've got 4 kids, 3 pets, 2 builders, at least half a dozen men up on scaffolding poles. I've lost count. No husband. He's at work earning money to pay for this. And it's full on. I normally really like the school holidays, just hanging out, having some quality kid time. It's a little bit different this time round.
Rachel and the kids escape the house, leaving Kelsey and Nathan to demolish the hallway and part of Max's room without interruption. The skip fills up quickly, which means it's time for a friendly visit from Jeff.
The weight of this bin, this is 9 cubic metres. The limit you're allowed is 1.6 tonnes. So I can tell already by what's in the contents of the bin, we're going to be way under, and most people are. We're golden, we're good to go. We'll see you guys in about 40 minutes. This is my little helper. She comes with me. The name's Jessie. Little 8-year-old chihuahua.
With a new skip on its way, there's a break in demolition and a perfect opportunity for Kelsey's apprentice Nathan to prepare the brackets that will be attached to the steel beams above and concreted onto the footings below.
We're doing these out here first, so then when we get in there, they're already ready to go. So these brackets go inside the pile, and then what happens when the concrete comes up, the bottom of these get filled with concrete up till there. So this is inside the concrete. It's just to join it all together, so it all holds there nice and strong, and there's not going to be any movement.
We're only a few weeks in, but already changes have been made to the plans. So Alex and I head to the council to sort those out.
Back when we were doing the original spec around the design with Andrew, our architect, we sort of specified for the bathrooms just replacing what's there with the existing ones and doing kind of similar with the new bathroom upstairs for the ensuite. Since we got Hamish involved, he straight away said, you have to go fully tiled bathrooms, it's going to look amazing. And of course it is going to look amazing, but that's not what we specified on the plan. So with the amendment for the plans to have the fully tiled bathrooms, it's just re-specifying on the drawings so that it's actually written down and listed what we're doing, and that includes the waterproofing product and process so that you know your fully tiled bathroom isn't in a few years' time going to start leaking, because especially upstairs, that's a recipe for disaster.
To be fair, we haven't really had any changes for Alex and Rachel. The planning that went into it in the beginning meant that they got what they wanted before it went to council. The reality is at some point everyone is going to make some sort of change to their plans, whether it be small or large. And Alex and I have got a bit of a bet. He says 2 weeks, I say 4 weeks. We'll see how the council does. Rachel has returned home and discovered that the scaffolders have already made huge progress in a short space of time.
The scale of it just seems to keep growing. I thought yesterday was it looked like a sort of triple-storey house. It now looks like we're building an apartment block, which might start a few rumours in the neighbourhood. But no, sticking to double-storey, that's enough.
And inside, there are more surprises.
Oh, wow! Wow! Okay, I've only been gone a couple of hours. That's complete open plan living. We've got the master bedroom that opens directly into Max's bedroom. And then the bathroom, family bathroom just there. It's surprising how quickly it can all come down. Fingers crossed it can go up again just as quick.
If only it worked that way, Rachel. It's an early Friday finish on the renovation and the family heads out on the boat for the weekend. It will be one of their last trips before the winter sets in.
This is why we live here, because all of this is 20 minutes away on the boat, and this is one of a dozen islands that we can get to, and this is part of living where we live on the Hibiscus coast. It's great.
And you see so many friends out on boats as well?
Yeah, we were here in the summer,
Tui.
and we were over there, and then somebody paddleboards past and says hello, and then we realised it's somebody we know. They're just up there, and then there's two other people.
And the neighbours just up there, and it's really nice.
You end up sort of pontooning the boats all next to each other. That's all part of the reason that we're doing what we're doing, and renovating, adding that second story to turn it into the house that we want in the location that we want and already have. That's what it's all about.
You can definitely see why Alex and Rachel want to renovate their home rather than buying somewhere else. But it's certainly a mammoth task they're taking on. And come Monday, the site is busy again as the scaffolders race to finish, with the wrap scheduled to go on in the afternoon. Inside, with the stairwell framing taking shape, Kelsey has called in electricians Dean and Johnny to discuss the plan for the new mains cable. The cost to tunnel it into the property increases the further the mains board is from the front of the house. And having worked with them for years, Kelsey trusts them to find the best option for Rachel and Alex.
So I was going to sub-main from here and go upstairs.
Oh, you put a new board in?
Put a new board upstairs, just for upstairs. Because other than that, everything's going to have to come back to here, which is total upgrade.
Well, originally my dad was the builder and I worked for him, and then he's used Dean for all that, probably 20 years. And then, I've just carried on and still use Dean.
You're not doing anything with the existing cladding? I'm just wondering about whether we move that meter to somewhere kind of handier. Bearing in mind you've got to bring a new main in, so the closer it is...
Might be cheaper,
you'd have to bring the main all the way to here. If you're going to pick around with this wall, you may as well just put a couple of new sheets of cladding on.
Like if we've got a problem, he just rushes around straight away and we'll sort it because, we know each other and we've got that relationship, whereas if you had someone you didn't know, they'd probably, I'll be there tomorrow.
Run the mains into here.
Yep.
Do an internal meter box.
Yeah.
Run all that crap into here, and then from here to there.
I think it's nice and easy to drop.
Yeah, well that would be easy here. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be way easier. Yeah. Right, it's really important, especially on a renovation like this, when you always get problems like you might need a pipe, done straight away or whatever.
20 grand will sort that out, Kelsey.
Certainly the electrical wiring is already proving to be an expensive dent in the contingency budget. But both Alex and Rachel want to make sure that it's not just compliant, but also won't affect the overall look of the finished renovation.
So do we go up here or up here?
You go up here.
Up here and the returns that way?
Yeah, that's right.
So this is available space for cupboards, I guess?
Yeah.
So the switchboard could be in the cupboard?
Can be, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to look at that.
Yeah.
What I need to do now is get on the phone to Vector and let them know that that's what we're going to do, because they may need to do something at their end. So I need to do that now so we don't get held up when it comes to wiring going in, which is probably maybe 3-4 weeks away.
The good news is that the scaffolding is now complete and the Rapid crew can start work. And you couldn't time it any better with a storm about to hit the Hibiscus coast, which is making Jay nervous.
How long does it normally take?
Possibly a couple of hours.
Couple of hours.
Right,
yeah. Oh, that's quite quick. I thought it would be longer.
Got the 18 here today.
You got the 18? Awesome. That's what we'd like to hear.
So what they're going to do is they're going to wrap it with the PVC plastic wrap that goes around the outside, and it's going to keep the wind and the rain out, which basically means everyone who's working on the site is protected from the elements and they can just keep on going. But the storm moves in faster than anyone expects, and the Rapid crew struggle in the wind and rain.
Just heard the rain is coming down, it's getting heavier. If the rain continues like this, the wrap that is going on to protect the building, they were not going to be able to keep putting it on because the rain's going to hamper their efforts too much. So I don't know what that means, because at the moment the roof is scheduled to come off tomorrow, and if the house isn't wrapped, that's actually quite serious. So I don't know what's going to happen at this stage.
Renovating an 85-year-old house will always throw up surprises. And in the last 16 days, Alex and Rachel have had their fair share. Firstly with the electricity mains cable, and then with the council temporarily misplacing their resource consent. But with the council approving the footings, the date for concreting is just 2 days away.
Next big one for us is the concrete pour for those foundations, because that's the stepping stone to the next part, which is a serious work starting.
With the weather improving, the rapid crew work on finishing the house as quickly as possible. And downstairs, Kelsey continues with the demolition. This time, Rachel is one step ahead of him.
We have managed to get hold of a load of moving boxes, so we've packed up all of the stuff properly that came out of our cupboards, and that's gone into the garage for now. And things are really, really underway.
And even Dean has a list of jobs for Rachel.
Because what's going to happen, the roof's going to come off.
Yeah.
We've got all sorts of old wiring up there that's 30 years old that can't be covered up and junctioned under a floor, because you'll never get to it again.
Because we'll never get to it, okay.
Yeah. So that, you might physically have to go to the shop, because what we might need through here is a piece of wood all the way through.
Yeah.
So we need to know exactly where that's going to go, because where the wire comes out, this wire here, needs to be at a proper place.
Yeah.
All right?
We can be sure on that and have gone to the shop like within the next week. Is that?
Yeah, that's fine.
That good?
Yeah.
It looks like Rachel and I will need to finalise the lights soon, as the wrap is now complete and Kelsey begins to remove the roof. But it doesn't take long for this old cottage to throw up another surprise.
All right.
Holy shit, look how much of it is in there.
Yeah, it's a field, mate. It's ruapehu in there. Ruapehu in the summer. Oh, but yet there's more bats underneath. Yellow bats.
That's why it's so high. It looks like this.
Yeah.
Well, and things have changed here. It's like it's been snowing. That is a lot of insulation. I guess this is the joy of renovating. We've got all this demolition work. It's so different to building new and from scratch. There's stuff you got to look after. There's lots more hazards, nails, things to trip on. All this insulation's got to go. Apparently it's Alex's job. He's getting up here to clean the rest of it away, so good luck to him. So it's another midnight project for Alex. But the good news is that the loose insulation is only a few years old and can be moved into the part of the roof they're not renovating. And Rachel has an idea about what to do with the old roof tiles as well.
Oh, so there's a whole heap of this, I think it's aluminium. We're going to take it to the metal yard or to be recycled or salvaged. I'm not going to make any money on it, apparently, which is a shame because we could do with some. But it will be recycled, which is really good to know.
With the concrete truck due today for the foundations, the renovation is really kicking into high gear, and Kelsey will need Alex's help more than ever. But Alex has just revealed that he's in training for the Rotorua Marathon and has decided he will compete. So his time on site will be limited. So you finished your training?
I have. I've been all right. I kind of stepped up the training in January, early Feb.
Yep.
And I've been pretty disciplined.
Yep.
The renovation kind of slowed me down a little bit because I wanted to be there doing that.
So how long are you away for?
36 hours all up.
It's not long, really, is
It's
it?
fine.
Just out of interest, why running?
I just quite fancied it.
Yeah.
I'd done it before, 4 years ago, down in Rotorua.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it again. At the time, I was never going to do it ever again.
Yeah.
And over, this time last year, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do it, and I never got round to it. So signed up. Actually, Rachel signed me up. You're going to do it or what? So
She's so kind.
I'm doing it. So it was just, Oh, I just like to do things. I'm not a sit around doing nothing kind of relaxer. So that's me.
All the best.
Thank you. When I signed up to do it, the build was meant to be well underway by now. We were meant to start in February. Here we are heading towards the beginning of May, marathon in a few days, and we've barely scratched the surface. And I've got tons to do. I've got all my clean-up stuff to do to save Kelsey and Nathan time. My weekend jobs that I need to tick off, the things that I can do as well, kind of the more DIY side of the renovation. Plus, I'm training 5 days a week. Squeezing it all in, people generally think I'm a bit nuts.
To be perfectly honest with you, the renovation, well, that's a marathon in its own right. And, you peak too early with that, you fail at the end. And I can't help but think that there's this massive journey of a massive amount of work and stress and everything that goes into it. And here's Alex doing a highly stressful, emotional thing, which is going off and doing a marathon in the early stages. I kind of wonder about it, and I kind of feel that he's going to burn himself out with something like this, where he's got a long way and a lot of hard yards to go. And on top of that, it leaves Rachel to pick up the bag. And at the house, Rachel is on site to supervise the concreting of the footings, although I don't think she was quite expecting it to involve more demolition.
Oh. Right, well this is something new. Giant tube going through the house, ready to pour the concrete, and we've got a big new hole in the hallway. Not an indoor spa, that's for the concrete too. But yeah, just more disruption, having to keep our dog well clear, and kids well clear. So, just another day on the life of a building site.
The concrete footings will be attached to the foundation via steel brackets, which will support the weight of the second story. It's a momentous day, getting them all poured. It's been a lot of tough work, probably for them underneath there. Very limited space for them to get around in, a lot of digging, weeks now of work underneath to get to this point so they can pour the concrete. And they're down to the last 2 footings.
So we just one short, eh?
Yeah. As long as there's enough to fill this one, we'll be right.
Yeah, there are other ones like that, but in my hand.
Bag it?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're just a little bit short on the concrete. So that last hole we're going to have to just get a couple of bags of 40 MPa and finish it off.
The concrete got pumped in, a little bit short on concrete for 1 hole. That's not too much of a major. They're gonna hand mix some stuff and finish the last one off. So nothing major's gone wrong. I guess that all comes down to Kelsey's planning. He knows what he's doing. He says this is why you have professionals doing the job. No drama is good. Next week, I pitch my design ideas to Alex and Rachel. Your ensuite's going to be a little bit different. Illness strikes the renovation.
Yeah.
Roughly how far behind?
Almost a week.
And brings the renovation to a grinding halt.
There's nothing more we can do on the site until the steel arrives.